everyone. I'm Juanica, also known as MsAstrology. Happy May. Today is May 1st, and I came to bring you a month ahead forecast of what to expect. But before I get started, I just want to let everybody know, and I won't take much of your time, but I just want to let everyone know to tap the link in my bio. I have launched a subscription service, the Cosmically Lit Collective, and this is where I take everything that I have learned and integrated, and I teach it to you guys. So actually, starting on this Sunday or next Sunday, May 9th, we'll start with a Sunday session, and we'll do these every Sunday at 7 Central Time. And it'll be a week ahead forecast for everyone. Then we'll do a little lesson on astrology, and then I'll open it up for questions or examples or whatever anybody wants to know. Or if anybody wants to give a testimony or anything like that, we'll have testimony service the last 20 minutes or so. And then we'll also do some other things in the month. So tap the link in my bio and learn a little bit more about the Cosmically Lit Collective and see if being a part of it is something that you want to do. So, okay, let's go ahead and get into May 1st or May 2021. I'm really excited about the month ahead. We got some big things happening this month. We got some planets retrograding. We have an eclipse coming up. And then, of course, the sun will go into Gemini. So we definitely have some things happening. The theme of the month as we go into, with today being May 1st, the sun is in Taurus, which is an earth sign, and the moon is in Capricorn, which is a fellow earth sign. So for me, the theme going into the month, specifically with those two planets, and we also still have Mercury and Venus in Taurus as well, but with those two planets going into the month, for me, this says this is really a month to really stick to the plan, stick to the work, stay practical, stay grounded. These are both earth signs. Earth signs like to produce, right? They like to see results. And so this is what really the theme is going into the month, and really what we want to hold on to, the work we're putting into our dreams, the work we're putting into our goals, our future, where we're making changes really, because we also have to remember Uranus is in Taurus, and it conjuncted the sun in April, and even right now it's still pretty conjunct to the sun. The sun is at 11 degrees and Uranus is at 12 or 14 degrees or 12 degrees. And so this is still really close. Or no, I'm sorry, Uranus is at 10 degrees. But this is still really close, these two planets. And so this really has us, Uranus is not just a planet of disruption and sudden change. It's also the great awakener. It's also about revelation and really just like having these aha moments. And I honestly feel like that's what happened to me last week when I was with my coach. And we just had this aha moment of how it is that I should structure my business. Like, I was thinking for a while, honestly, that I was going to upload videos every week and you guys were going to watch videos. But then when I was doing the work for the videos, I was like, this is not fun. This is not interactive. I am a teacher at heart, so I want students. I want to know what questions people have. I want to hear interactions. I want to hear voices and see faces. And so Zoom and doing it that way is the best way. You yourself may also find a revelation, just like a aha moment that happens. It could do with food or the food systems, which I actually do kind of expect to find this out on a bigger platform, a bigger energy. And remember, Uranus is a slow moving planet, and the sun moves 1 degree per day. So this is not a right now energy. So just because it didn't happen right away doesn't mean that it's not still working to happen. So I definitely still expect that as we go into the first week, the first 2 weeks of the month of May, we're going to get some kind of news about the financial system, and maybe some kind of news also about the food supply or the food system as well. And you may have even individual aha moments about where to invest your money, where to cut back on some spending, where to make some changes in your diet, maybe where to save some money from where you're buying food, or to be more innovative with your food sources, things like that. So really be looking for those things. And for the collective, this should really be good opportunities. Like, there will be some shakeups, but this really shouldn't be bad. Like, this should really be good energy, specifically for those of us that have been working and preparing since December, since the Great Conjunction. Like, this shouldn't be too bad for us. So thinking of the theme of the month, and I have some notes here, I wrote down the word focus, work, produce, plan, stay steady. I also wrote down that we need to consider our long-term goals, and this needs to be our reminder if anything shakes us up or any kind of surprising thing happens or comes out of nowhere. We need to stay focused on the long-term goals and the long-term plans. We also need to remember that this is going to take time. Saturn is in Aquarius. This is making a square to Taurus energy, and Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So this energy is really saying, listen, take your time, stick to the plan. Let's see, Saturn and Uranus both want to see how well we are behaved and how disciplined we are when shit is shook up, when we are shooked. So, you know, be ready to still stay firm, to still hold your boundaries, really making sure to take time with the plan, give yourself time, and really to know your limits. And also with Mars in Cancer right now, opposing the moon as we go into this month, this definitely feels like a reminder to take care of yourself and to nurture yourself, not to overwork, not to overdo it, but to maybe to also spend some time, you know, really nurturing and loving on yourself in the form of like an ideal mother, if you will. So with that Cancer energy, really working on any passive aggressiveness or any inner frustration that we have to work on. Really the best way to do this would be with self-care and self-nurturing. So yeah, that's going to be the theme going into May, I feel like. And then the first thing that really happens is Mercury will move into Gemini on the 3rd of May, which is early this week. Mercury is at home in Gemini, so this will be a placement of a lot more chatting, a lot more social interactions and social connections. You might find yourself more on the internet more, and this is something to actually be very mindful of. At least if you're going to be on the internet, be balanced. Gemini is the twins. So try to find that duality in making sure that you're giving as much content as you're taking in, because we're constantly taking in content, and that's good, or that can be good, as long as we're balanced with also giving good content, good information. So don't just be a consumer of all of this. So once Mercury moves into Gemini, just know that you'll be more social. Your memory should be better. Your thinking should be sharper. This is a good time to have conversations, to communicate a little bit more. And to be social, to be curious, maybe to pick up some, you know, new knowledge or a new subject that you're interested in. That would be good. And then on the 8th, Venus moves into Gemini. Now, here's the thing about this. This can be fun and social, because Venus rules another social planet, which is Libra, which is another air sign, which is another duality, if you will, with the scales. So it's really about balancing. But Venus doesn't really care to be too much in Gemini. Gemini is very social and very flirty, but also very flighty and very kind of iffy, if you will. And so this may be a time to be social. It's definitely not a time to be serious with matters of the heart. Once Venus goes into Gemini, or relationships or anything like that, have fun, socialize, spend some time maybe with siblings or with your neighbors, a neighborhood cookout, like something like that would be a lot of fun, or something that you could find to be very fulfilling, or even somewhere where you may get some good information, a good tip that you can use. Because remember, although these planets are in Gemini, the sun is still in Taurus. So it's still technically Taurus season. So we could still be getting really good information about money, about investing, about some ways that maybe collectively put our money together and make it grow or prosper in that way. Or also some tips on eating, or some food sources or things like that. Just something to really offer more security. So be social, you know, go to the neighborhood cookout, have a good time once Venus goes into Gemini, but do not be too serious with matters of the heart, relationships. Also be really mindful of your money. I would, you may find yourself in, you know, not being so mindful of your money, wanting to really spend it, being social like that, because Venus does rule Taurus and Libra both. So that is money and financial security. So although you want to be open to being ready to make financial investments, you also want to be cautious of just letting your money fly away, like Gemini and air sign, right? So yeah, keep those things in mind. And then we have the new moon on the 11th. So this is a Taurus new moon. This is really good energy for reevaluating our plans, making some adjustments to the goals and moving forward. Maybe we found some information through the 3rd or the 8th, or, you know, for the first couple of weeks of the month where we can make some changes to our business, to our plans, to our goals, to what it is that we're pursuing. The really good time to start that is going to be on the 11th with the new moon. And I'll talk about that more as part of on Sunday session. The first one is going to be May 9th. So this will be perfect for the new moon. And what I'm teaching on that Sunday session is going to be the full moon versus the new moon. So as you go into this new moon energy, you'll have a lot better understanding of what the new moon and the full moon offer and how to utilize this Taurus new moon and best flow with this energy. So that'll be really good for the Taurus new moon. There's a good time to make some new financial decisions, maybe a good time to start a new diet or eating plan, to readjust the budget, those kind of things. Maybe even a good time to do some things around the house and stuff like that. The new moon is a great one in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus. So this is great energy. This is really good. I feel like we're doing good moving forward. We just got to stay diligent. We just got to stay focused. We just got to stay about the plan, specifically for May. Then on the 12th, Jupiter goes into Pisces. Actually, Jupiter enters Pisces. Jupiter will be into Pisces until July. I really am excited about this energy. I really like it. Jupiter is the co-ruler of Pisces. In traditional astrology, Jupiter rules both Sagittarius and Pisces. And honestly, Sag and Pisces are signs that really do have a lot in common. They really are for your highest good, your highest potential, really the highest belief in yourself. And when Jupiter is in Pisces, this is really that energy of being able to manifest anything, really being able to make anything happen. And this is really good. Now, I do have to caution because I do think a lot of budding and young astrologers and maybe even some, intermediate astrologers love to call Jupiter a benefic planet, a good planet. Like, oh, Jupiter, it's the blessing planet, which it absolutely can be more than any other planet. It is known to bring luck, opportunity, wisdom, good fortune. But the other thing about Jupiter, with it being the largest planet in the solar system, it will also exaggerate and overdo and overwhelm. And so you have to remember what sign Jupiter is in. Jupiter will be in Pisces, which is a mutable water sign. This is also the potential to really get super emotional, super religious, like really go overboard with religion and ideologies and beliefs and that kind of thing. Also, with Pisces being the sign of the subconscious as well as its own self-undoing, this can have the potential to really cause depression even for people that are not minding their thinking. So you really want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with beautiful music, watching love stories, really fulfilling yourself with good things, happy things, the things that you want to manifest, because this is pretty much what you're going to manifest. And I know you're going to see it happen from May 12th into July, and then Jupiter will go retrograde. And when Jupiter retrogrades, we'll go more internal, which this is one of the reasons why we really need to be ready, because once you take Jupiter internal in the sign of Pisces, then you can go super deep and super internal. And this is not necessarily the right energy. We really want to learn to use Jupiter to expand our belief, expand our manifesting, expand our magic and all of the goodness that we believe and that we, really want out of life. We can have whatever we want. That's really what Jupiter wants to give us. But sometimes in our subconscious, we're worried about what we don't want. And with Jupiter in our subconscious, it's going to bring what you don't want. So really be mindful of that. On the 20th, the sun will go into Gemini. So at this point, we'll have Venus there. We'll have we'll have Mercury there. Very social, interactive, fun, going out time, very curious, get information, learn things, chat it up, remember stuff, implement the things that you have been learning, because Uranus will still be in the great, in Taurus, awakening and shaking things up. So, once the sun goes into Gemini, that'll be a lot of fun and social, and we'll be out and about more. And then Saturn goes retrograde on the 23rd. And when Saturn goes retrograde, this is really a time for us to re-examine our beliefs. Re-examine boundaries, our limits, our discipline, how we're managing time, and those kind of things. So of course I'll send videos. I'll have videos that come out to talk a little bit more about those. And if you're a part of the collective, you will get lives with me where we discuss these things. You can ask questions, you can share your screen, you can go deeper with us as a collective. So yeah, so that's going to be on the 23rd. Saturn will go retrograde. And then on the 26th, we have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. And this is big. This is about ending, you know, old belief systems, old ways of doing things. And even with Sagittarius, maybe this is time for us to really end our connections with foreign beliefs and foreign systems, and not even just our connections to them, but maybe how we look at them, how we uphold them. Maybe we don't give them enough attention. Maybe this is something that we need to bring to an end and to be exposed, and we start to tap into more of that and how it can contribute to our higher beliefs, not just our dogmatic beliefs. It's time to open up and not be so dogmatic about some of those things. And there's something all of us are really stubborn about when it comes to a belief. I know I definitely am, but of course I'm a super Sag, but we all have Sagittarius in our chart. We will all be affected by this eclipse. So of course there's for all of us, there's gonna be this higher belief that we really need to examine, and we really need to decide if this is working for not only our greater good, but for the greater good of the collective, and if it should go forward with us, or if it should come to an end. Last but not least, Saturn will retrograde on the 29th, and in that Mercury will retrograde on the 29th. The planet of communication will spend a lot of time in Gemini this year. And so on the 29th, when it retrogrades, this is really a time, I always say, when Mercury retrogrades, this is the time for us to think about what we've been thinking about. And so we need to think about the information that we've received. Think about, you know, really how we're exchanging. Are we sharing enough information? Are we receiving enough information? Maybe, you know, are we having the right conversations with our neighbors, with our siblings, those kind of things. So I'm going to do a 1 card pull today. Anybody that knows me knows that I only let jumpers stay if it's 1 jumper. If I get several cards that jump out of my hand, I feel like I'm a missed deal. King of Wands, I love it. The King of Wands says, let's get really on purpose about our passion, about our energy. Let's put our energy to work. Let's really get on purpose about what we're doing. Let's be about our business with what it is that we're excited about and that we have a lot of energy about and that we really want to move forward. And this card speaks to me. I actually love the Queen of Wands. I identify with her very highly in the tarot. And so for me, the King of Wands, you know, kings have mastered things. So this king has mastered how much time and energy to put into his business, how much action to give it, and also how much rest, really, you know, because if you look at him, he's sitting on solid ground. So he's done the work. It's kind of all around him that the work is done, but he also knows how to sit down somewhere and enjoy peace. And so I think this is what it's telling us. Be excited, put a plan together, master the plan, but also don't be afraid to sit down somewhere and to socialize with your neighbors or to go to the backyard party with your cousins that you haven't seen in a while. Have a good conversation with your siblings and see what kind of information that you can exchange over the month and how you can put some of that into action like the King of Wands wants you to do. So that is a really good reading. I hope it resonates with you guys. Leave a comment, please share, and tap the link in my bio to join the Cosmically Lit Collective. I promise you guys are going to love it. I'm so excited about it. So excited to announce, so excited to do this with you guys, see everybody, interact with you, hear your questions, get your feedback, you know, all of it. I cannot wait. It truly speaks to the Sagittarius in me, who is ultimately a lifelong student and teacher. So until next time, I'm so excited. Until next time, you guys, peace.